Ladies and gentlemen, Timothée Chalamet, whatever, is having a year right now. They're calling him the white boy of the year. If you haven't seen, go check out my last reaction. I just reacted to the rap song that he dropped. Yeah, he keeping it hip hop. But I knew he was valid because before that he had interviewed Kendrick Lamar. And I got a video today of him talking about apparently there was a whole different interview they did. They scrapped and threw away. He was there when Kendrick was at war. Let's get right into it.
Kendrick, ahead of the Super Bowl last year, like, what stuck with you with that conversation?
What stuck with me, honestly, was
He got the exclusive.
I feel like being a fan of sports, I look at...
Yo, I'm sorry. Already gonna pause. Two things. One, make sure you are subscribed. You know, stats show that most people watching this aren't subscribed because they're just not even thinking about it. So take the time right now. Hit that subscribe button. You feel me? Trying to get to 2 million. And part two, am I the only one who feels like he kind of looks like he could be related to Shia LaBeouf? Am I the only one who thinks that? He kind of look like, he don't look just like him, but he look like his little brother. But anyway, get back to when Kendrick was at war. I want to hear the behind the scenes.
Things with an athletic background, acting that is, and I like to, not that I'm competitive, but I like to see what my peers are doing, but everything's very friendly at the end of the day when you see other actors at a worship. And really my big takeaway from Kendrick was it was during all the huge beef last year. I was just so amazed, like I was so impressed that this man who was so calm sitting next to me, and I was like, wow, he's engaged in a gladiator sport right now. And as much as I love hip hop and all this, I was sitting next to him, I was like, wow, I could not do that, you know, to be that, I don't know, like his calmness. I don't know if I'm doing a good job describing it. I was just like, I couldn't believe I couldn't believe like you could be that big at war with somebody that big and go about your life. I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? And I said this in my my reaction yesterday when I reacted to his Four Raws remix. I know he's a part of the cloth. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear, like, I said, you know, in my video yesterday, but I said if you are a millennial or younger and you can't at least understand the language of hip hop, I don't trust you. You don't have to be your favorite genre. You don't have to be a hip hop head. But we've all grown up where hip hop was the most important, most biggest, most powerful genre of entertainment. And the language is in everything. What's goody? It's your boy Screw. You know I'm always trying to find ways to make a little money on the side. And one thing I really rock with are those programs that allow you to get paid for playing games. And the one I'm using right now, I'm rocking with, is called Tester Up.
Wow, that is very interesting. Please tell me more.
It's an app that makes everything way easier. You download it, pick a game, and it tracks your progress for you so you don't have to guess or wait for the payout. This finna be a breeze. Out of everything I've tried, they've had the best payouts, and that's why I'm really rocking with them currently. So here's how it works. Now, obviously, mobile games need people to play their games. Instead of just running ads, they pay Tester Up to find people who will actually play.
Oh, say less.
Tester Up connects you to those games so you actually get paid for the time that you put in. When you sign up, there's usually a bonus offer that pops up. Start with that one. It's the easiest way to rack up your first bit of money. If you want to try it, download through my link or scan my QR code so you're using the same system that I am. There's a lot of random programs out there, but this is the one that's paying out the best.
There can be only one.
So give it a shot and let your boy know what you think. So I knew from the jump, I said, no, Tim C, that's what I'm gonna call him, is a hip hop. He grew up in hip hop, he loves hip hop, and that was before he rapped. Go back and watch the interviews. He's from the cloth. I saw this boy cranking that Soulja Boy perfectly, you feel me? Real sturdy with a Soulja Boy. I said, oh, no, I feel like he valid. And it's dope that, you know, he was in there interviewing Kendrick as a fan. Just sitting there like I would do, or like any other person who loves hip hop. Like just sitting there thinking about like gladiator sports. What have I always said? Hip hop is a sport. Go grab that from thevillage.us. And that's what he said. It's a gladiator sport. I respect the way you say it, Tim. That's why your bars was like that. That's why you was getting off right. Okay.
Just be chilling. Yeah.
Shit, like,
Yeah, that was just unfathomable to me. Otherwise, he's somebody I grew up listening to.
Told you.
And
I already said that. I said, yeah, Most people who are going to come up now are going to be growing up listening to hip hop. That's why I always felt like there's a weird, like, what's going on with the hip hop generation? Like, we should have been represented way more in fields. You know what I mean? Like,
I just appreciated him,
whether it's acting,
just getting the opportunity to do it, and I joke about the white boy of the year stuff and all that, but it's a fine line to walk. I want to be respectful and all the shit you're supposed to say, blah, blah, blah. But really, I'm just a fan. I'm a fan of Black culture and hip hop and all of it. And how could you be,
And you see how he first said it was Black culture? He didn't even hesitate. I'm telling you, if you were this stuff isn't hard to say. This is stuff that we know. I feel like this was the old guard that used to fight that. That used to, no, yeah. But it's like, yeah, he didn't even hesitate. The boy valid so far. He valid, bruh. He didn't even hesitate. I love hip-hop. I love Black culture. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's acknowledging it, and he just say, I love it. That's all. Just don't vulture. He ain't vulturing. I ain't seeing no vulture yet. No feathers, nothing.
Oh, a child of American culture without being influenced by it. So it's a fine line.
This is literally what I said in the last video.
A child of American culture without being influenced by it. So it's a fine line between
That's my
I mean, especially growing up in New York City, dog.
Yeah.
This is the birthplace of hip hop, the birthplace of culture.
Super diverse.
And it's like, you're immersed in it.
That's what I've always said too. It's like when you're 10 years old or 12 years old, if I'm a Mellow fan or if I'm a Soulja Boy fan or whatever, I'm like, he laughed. Put some respect on Soulja Boy's name.
Come on,
Nah, I saw him cracking a sturdy Soulja Boy. Nah, Soulja Boy different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up with the Soulja Boy era too, and we get the whole what Soulja Boy is now, might not be under jokes. But we ain't ever gonna slander Big Soulja when he was Big Soulja. Yeah, I got me some bathing apes. Yeah, you feel me? We was all hitting it sturdy, bro. Shout out to Big Soulja. If you're a millennial or younger, that boy is goated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Soulja Boy about to be on your head now.
I just
you gotta think wherever he came up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His generation is. Soulja Boy was you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he was the first.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah, and the first internet superstar. Yeah. And now I was talking about it with Drewski yesterday. I was going yumsshoes.com trying to get the newest Yums releases. But anyway, when you're growing up, you're not thinking, oh, is this appropriate? I don't know. And I think then in a position of celebrity and all that, then you got to watch your step more. But I feel like I've been having too much fun. That's what's great about the Knicks. Even like the Knicks is like, it's the city's team, man. Yeah. It's the city's team. You're
not lying, bro. It's like New York and LA got that in common, that when you go to those games, you see New York people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You see you know
what I'm saying? I do feel like this video is important. As somebody that I get scared, I have PTSD of, I'm going to just call it, be simple plain, white people in hip hop. I really do. It's not that I think they shouldn't do it. Beyond, hell no. Hip hop is, everybody should be able to do it. But it's just the lineage and the track list that we've had of how it seems like the majority treat it. You know what I mean? Where it seems like it's used as a stepping stone because they want to do something else actually. And then on their way out, they kick it in the ass. And by it, I mean hip hop. As long as you're not doing that, as long as you're not doing questionable things, man, hip hop is worldwide. Hip hop is global. So ain't nothing wrong with it. And that's why it says, like, you cannot tell. It's starting to get to the point where you're not going to just tell every person. You're not going to just tell every white person who grew up that they're not a part of hip hop just because they didn't create it. Facts. No. But to say you're not a part of it isn't fair because it's now just it's a time thing. It's just like there's too many people, and I said like millennial or younger, who grew up with hip hop, where literally breathed hip hop, ate hip hop, everything hip hop, their entire lives, where they don't even understand the concept of someone saying you're not a part of it. It's like, what? You feel what I'm saying? So this interview to me is important because he is saying a lot of the same stuff I said. He said, there's no way that you grow up as an American kid in the last 50 years and hip hop isn't a part. That was my thing. My thing actually I find weirder is if you are like a millennial or younger and are completely oblivious to hip hop. That's when I start going, Nah, somebody was shielding you, and I need to know why. That's where I start. Wait a minute.
Saying like you'll see like you know what there's a lot of in New York?
I'm
Puerto
glad-
Ricans. You know
I'm glad he spoke to this.
so we got one right here. You know what I'm saying? And Bad
Wait, is that
Bunny-
true, bro? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got the
Didn't see the
tags on the head.
How did I not know that? What the fuck?
Very large community in New York. Bad Bunny's having a generational run
Absolutely,
right now.
huge.
And you be one of them guys that's next to them guys at the Garden.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
fact.
oh yeah.
What do y'all like?
I thought you were gonna say you're one of the guys big in Puerto Rico. Really?
I didn't know that.
Amazing.
Timoteo, coño. Vamos ya. You know,
Wow.
Shout out to my boy Mero, man. I love Mero, bro. Hold on, let me make sure. Shout out to Big Mero, boy. One of the funniest people. Just, oh my God.
Alternate universe.
You know, I was lit.
That'd be amazing. Are you kidding me? That's my dream.
Listen, man. Listen,
Yeah.
growing up, I'm gonna say it a bunch in this episode. Growing up in New York will afford you that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, the
absolutely.
access-
Now, I don't know if they talk anymore about the Kendrick situation, but I kind of wanted to, get that point across because he was one of the only people to interview Kendrick during that time. And hearing him say, like, watching him, like, bro, dude, he was really at war, just goes back to the, like, man, that boy was locked in during that period. And then I also think it was super important that he talked about, I guess, where he feels his place in hip-hop culture. And he doesn't come off on some colonizing, vulturing, not at all. I wouldn't say any of that stuff. And he's not one of those white people who comes into hip hop and be like, it's time to save hip hop, F mumble rap. Let me show you the way we really do it. This is the way you guys should be rapping. One of those white savior complex either. So I love it. He just in it, cranking his Soulja Boy, dropping his little rap music. Yeah, man. And he doing more than a lot of y'all who over here who do nothing but just argue and talk about rap. That boy dropping raps. He putting his neck out on the line for him so you to see his art and talk about it. What you doing? You just talk about it. Man, shout out to Big Tim C, man.